welcome back to Bobbie Valentine to Hanashima Show with Frankie Rampin. We're here to discuss what happened the last week in Major League Baseball, in particular, how it affected the Japanese players. And brought to you by Steel Sports, we're going to give you the update, And Frankie, on Monday, starting the week, I went out to Dodger Stadium. And it was pretty cool. It was Japanese Heritage Night. I went around and saw a lot of the wonderful displays, the Ohtani display that's there, and many of the other things about Tommy Lasorda and my memories of being a Dodger. I wore a uniform that I wore in 1970. I didn't really wear it in 1970. I was going to wear it in 1970, but as a 20-year-old, I was supposed to get called up to the major leagues, but I got hit in the face the last game of the minor league season. So the uniform that was made for me was never worn at Dodger Stadium. So I wore it on Monday night. That's kind of cool to say that the uniform finally got worn by Bobby V at Dodger Stadium. I went all the way up top and got a nice view of the whole stadium. And, Dodger Stadium is an old stadium, but they really do it up right. I know the fans who are all going there to see the spectacular players from Japan who are playing for the Dodgers now will enjoy the stadium as well as the game and the players. But some of the players had a pretty good week, Frankie. What do you think?
Yes, those players have been doing very good so far this week and this season. A month in so far, officially a month into the season. And Bobby, I know you had to wait a couple years to wear that jersey, but finally, thank God you're able to wear that at Dodger Stadium for the first time. That must have been fun. But this week, speaking of players that play at Dodger Stadium, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, pitcher of the month in the National League for the month of April. Absolutely unbelievable start to the season for him. 1.06 ERA through the first month of the year. That was the best in baseball. He won the pitcher of the month, becoming the 5th Japanese player ever to win the award, joining Hideo Nomo, Hideki Irabu, Masahiro Tanaka, and Yu Darvish. The last winner was September 2022, so over 3 years ago since the last time a Japanese player won this award. He's been unbelievable. Had another start in Atlanta this weekend against the Braves, took a no-hitter all the way into the 6th inning, lowered his ERA down to 0.9 on the year, and got his 4th win of the season. Yamamoto has been electrifying so far.
Well, the Japanese fans know the quality that he has. And last year, being a little injured, he never got to show that on a regular basis. I think this year, people are going to be amazed by his ability to not only be great, but be consistently great when he goes out there. He's doing great. And so did another pitcher for the Dodgers who got his first win.
Yes, Loki Sasaki picked up the first win of his major league career last night, Saturday night in Atlanta, after a 3-hour rain delay. So a tough start to the day where his whole routine gets cut short. Everything changed. He's got to sit there for 3 hours with the team doing absolutely nothing, watching other baseball games or other playoff games happening in the United States. But he was able to lock himself in, come back out after 3 hours, pitch 5 innings of 3-run ball, picking up his first win as a major league player.
Yeah, and just so the fans out there understand, these clubhouses, the locker rooms at the major league level, except for in Boston and in Chicago, Wrigley for the visitors.
And Sacramento.
Fabulous. Pardon?
And Sacramento.
Oh, yeah, now Sacramento also, which is a minor league, major league park this year. The clubhouses are really comfortable. There's televisions everywhere. There's a lot of food to be had. That's my favorite dog, JB, who wants to be on this YouTube. Jay, you have to wait for that walk. Thank you very much, pal. But there's a lot of things to do. Yet a young player has to occupy his mind and make sure he keeps his tense in the proper place before the game. And that's a very difficult thing for any major league pitcher to do. Wait 3 hours, trying to keep his routine going, trying to keep his mental and physical preparation right. He did a good job, and he's checking a lot of boxes. I'm amazed at the progress that this young man has made. We understand about his arm, but there was a lot of question about how a young 23-year-old could actually adapt and adjust to the Major League Baseball and to the style of Major League Baseball. Well, a 3-hour rain delay was really a test, and he passed with flying colors, and one of his teammates helped him out a little.
Yes, he did. The incomparable Shohei Ohtani, after what, a 3-game stretch where he wasn't himself and everyone thought the sky was falling. Oh my God, is Ohtani still Ohtani? Yes, he is still Ohtani. Crushing home runs. He hit an absolute laser home run against Sandy Alcantara earlier this week. Another home run last night in Atlanta. He has just been unbelievable. Shohei Ohtani continues to do Shohei Ohtani things. 3 for 4 last night, 2 RBIs.
Yeah, as I said last week, he'll get really hot because he was a little cold. And the amazing thing about Ohtani is his swing is so efficient and it's so fast going through the zone that when he swings and misses and he looks like he's falling away from the plate, all of these pundits in America think, oh God, he doesn't have a good swing. He's falling away from the plate. No, that's just what his swing does when it doesn't make contact with the ball. But when it does amazing things. I think he's going to be hitting 330 before long. And I don't know if he's going to catch Judge in that home run column, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does.
Well, Ohtani, 8 home runs already, batting average up to 293. So not out of the question to catch up to Aaron Judge. Not sure about the batting average right now, but the home runs he can get up to.
And that guy, Aaron Judge, is doing pretty good, folks, for whatever it's worth. If you're not following the Yankees and not following, one of the top hitters to ever play the game of baseball, Aaron Judge is off to a historical start.
I've heard some pundits, like you were just talking about before, American baseball pundits call Aaron Judge the greatest right-handed hitter that's ever lived, I've heard. But so far this season, AL Player of the Month, he's hitting .435 with 11 home runs and 35 RBIs in 1 month.
Yeah, his swing is made for Yankee Stadium, and he's a right-handed hitter, yet he hits the ball hard to right field. And half of his games, plus the games that are played against Tampa in Tampa now, where the stadium that they play in, the Tampa Bay Rays, is a replica in dimensions to Yankee Stadium. So he gets extra at-bats hitting in a short right field, and that's only going to help his statistics. But he's spectacular, and he's having a spectacular start to this 2025 season. There's a hitter in Chicago, though, that's going unnoticed on the coasts, but in middle America, in Chicago, where the Cubs are making a lot of noise in the Central League of the National League, Central Division, Suzuki is doing a great job of showing power and finesse with his bat.
Yes, Seiya Suzuki, one of the leaders of the best offense in baseball so far. The Chicago Cubs have scored the most runs in baseball. They've had the most games so far, scoring 10 runs. Just had a 10-run shutout over this weekend against the Milwaukee Brewers. But Seiya Suzuki, average up over 280 to 281, 9 home runs. This one here in Pittsburgh, coming off of Nicholas here. He hit one off of Paul Skeens, also in Pittsburgh, one of the best pitchers, young pitchers in the National League. So Seiya Suzuki continuing to crush baseballs home and on the road here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, staying healthy is going to be the key to him. He's a powerful right-handed hitter that, has not played that full 162-game season because of some injuries in the past. But if he stays healthy, people will know the kind of hitter he is, which is all quality.
Oh, yeah. He's been an absolute danger in the middle of that Chicago Cubs lineup. But one pitcher who was able to calm down both these two hot bats, especially the one we were talking about before, Aaron Judge, the hottest hitter in the world right now. The Baltimore Orioles starter, Tomoyuki Sugano, came in to pitch against the Yankees last week and threw 5 scoreless innings and racked up a career-high 8 strikeouts. Only walked 1 in this game. So Sugano came in and just dominated an extremely good lineup, the best offense in the American League right now, the New York Yankees, and shut down the big bad Aaron Judge. 8 strikeouts on the day for Sugano. He was dominant.
Yeah, Sugano has been a great pitcher his entire career. Obviously, people in MLB have not gotten the chance to appreciate his greatness. And just so we understand, the Orioles are a team with high expectation. Everyone thinks they're going to be great, and they've been slumping most of this year. And he's been one of the bright spots. Sugano's showed up every time and showed up with very good stuff. And the pitch against the Yankees, that first time is such a big step because it's more than just one game. It's a game in division, great rivalries, Yankees and Orioles. And he knew that going into that game, and he showed up very big. That's a great step in his major league career, which is on top of a great career that he's already had in MPB. I'm really happy that he's healthy and throwing the way he can to show the people how good he is. And Frankie, you know what's really interesting, I think, about this stuff, that all of these spectacular pitchers from Japan are pitching in the MLB. And next year there's the World Baseball Classic, which, you know, the U.S. has never won, and they're making a big deal of it here. And I don't think, well, whatever.
They won it one time.
Yeah, that's right. They won it one time, and you know, they're just not that. The Japanese pitchers are not going to be that keen to pitch in that series because they're going to pitch this major league season the entire time. So, you know, I'm looking forward to a great season, and I'm not sure that any of these pitchers are going to pitch for the WBC, and I'm not sure that they should, but we'll see how that all moves forward.
Really? You don't think that these guys are going to, like, more specifically, the Japanese guys aren't going to pitch for Team Japan? You don't think?
Well, they've won that championship, and I don't think that they need to come out early and throw all those extra pitches. We'll see how the season goes. We'll see how many pitches and how many innings they throw. But the U.S. squad's probably going to take a bunch of relief pitchers, is my bet, because they won't have the same wear and tear that starting pitchers would have. And the Dodgers are going to go deep into the season, and that's a few very good pitchers that probably are not going to pitch in that WBC, but we'll see what happens when that all comes.
One thing I will say, Bobby, is during the most recent WBC back in 2023, it seems like we had the most buy-in throughout all the countries that we've ever had in this tournament so far. So if that trend continues, I would like that. I'm sure the fans would like that. And as somebody who grew up watching Japanese baseball over in Japan and has watched all the WBCs and seen how much pride the Japanese team takes in their team, it kind of is hard for me to believe that they wouldn't want to send their best guys. I know that injuries and overwear is one thing. That's one thing. But if they are healthy and ready to go,
it's not their best guys. It's, you know, it's the teams that I don't think the Dodgers are going to want to see Yamamoto pitching in the WBC. I don't think they're going to want to see Ohtani pitching in the WBC. I don't think they're going to want to see Loki Suzuki pitching in the WBC. It's just not, you know, in their best interest. And the Dodgers are paying them an awful lot of money.
And if Shohei Ohtani tells the Dodgers, hey, I'd like to play in this, they just tell him no?
I think it would be a discussion. I think it'd just be a discussion. He'll probably hit. Maybe he'll do like he did last time, Ohtani, and be a relief pitcher, which
that was awesome.
Is really a tough thing. Now but that's a story for another day. What else do we have going on here in the States? We saw that hard luck. And when I say hard luck, I've seen a lot of pitchers, and I'm a little prejudiced as far as this one's concerned. But, you know, you say Kikuchi is really pitching hard luck. He gave up a couple of home runs, solo home runs his last outing. He left with the lead. It looked like the Angels had the victory, and the victory just slipped out of their hands. So he has to wait another few days to get back on the mound. I think he's going to get on a run where good luck and good calls will go his way, and he's going to win a lot of games. But so far, he has 0 in the win column, but a lot of pluses in the stuff and the idea that he's going to lead this team and this pitching staff with the LA Angels this year, in my opinion.
Yeah, it seems like the script is going to have to flip at some point for Kikuchi. He's been good. His outings have been very good. He's been commanding the zone. He just hasn't been getting the luck. Like you said, he came out of this game against the Tigers only giving up 2 solo home runs. Out with the lead, they end up losing the game. The pesky Tigers just keep coming back, and they really gave the Angels fits this weekend. That game, they came back and won late. The next day, 1-1 ball game heading into the 9th inning. The Angels brought in their legendary closer, Kenley Jansen, to kind of keep the game where it was, get it to the bottom of the 9th tied. And the first batter he faced was Riley Green, outfielder for the Detroit Tigers. And I believe it was the first or second pitch that he saw. Turned on it, homer over the right field wall. First batter of the inning, gives the Tigers the lead, home run. Kenley Jansen.
Yeah, Riley Green, Frankie, as you were ready to mention, hit another home run in the 9th inning, and that happens to be the first time that a guy's hit 2 home runs in a 9th inning of a Major League Baseball game, and his name is Riley Green, and the Tigers are off to a very good start. I think that they're going to be a team to watch as the American League unfolds.
Yes, they have gotten off to a great start. Best record in the American League so far. After last season, they had a crazy second half to get themselves really out of contention. They were sellers at the trade deadline. They make the playoffs, and then they won a playoff series. So this Tigers team could be dangerous this year.
Yeah, and we'll see how things work out as the teams try to knock the Dodgers off, try to knock the Tigers off, and see which teams are players and which ones aren't. You know, the first month of the season is a good month to look at teams, but it's not a good month to judge teams. It's really May and the 2 consecutive months that I believe you need before you know what a team looks like, what a team's going to be like. And even the last year, as you mentioned, and a couple of years ago with Arizona, the first half of the season doesn't mean that much in major leagues, that teams can flip the switch the second half. But right now, some of these teams are hot and some of these teams are not. But the good news for all the Japanese fans, that most all of the Japanese players playing at the major league level are proven to be major league plus with their effort out on the field. And until next week, brought to you by Steel Sports, Frankie Rampant and Bobby Valentine are saying thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and see you next week. The Bobby Valentine Hanashima Show.